Ba, 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 ba. All right, we are live. Um, tell all your folks. Let me see if I can. You may not be able to do it, but I can maybe
What's that?
do IG at the same time.
Yeah, I think if you have another device,
Yeah, yeah. I have. I'm on my laptop.
okay, yeah, and you want to get on your phone on IG, you can do
On my
that.
phone on IG. Let's see what we can do here. Um, we go up here live. For those of you that are watching, good day. We are talking about the forgotten holiday.
Come on now, I like that title, The Forgotten Holiday.
The forgotten holiday.
Yep,
we
I
want to have
like that. That's a great title.
we want to have a conversation with y'all. So do me a favor if you are watching. Since you are watching, I see you guys coming in. Do me a favor and okay, there we go. And let other people know that we're on. Those of you that are watching me on IG, you cannot see Dr. Leroy McKenzie, but you can see me. Dr.
Yep.
Leroy McKenzie is on Facebook, on my, hey, what's going on, y'all? Forevermore. What's up, sis? Good to see you. Bobby Oates, what's up, man? Hey, listen, we're talking about the forgotten holiday. Um, so I want you guys to share. I see that we're on Facebook on my personal page. We are on LinkedIn and we're also on YouTube. So we are on all of those places. Good to see you, Bobby. Um, share that we're on, Bobby. My sister, Forevermore, share that we're on, please. Good to see you. I haven't talked to you in a while. Uh, oh, it says click here to reconnect to LinkedIn. LinkedIn may not like me today, and it's okay. It really is okay. I ain't, I don't beg nobody to be in a relationship with me. So I
So you
want,
know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't beg nobody to be in a relationship. So those of you that are watching on Instagram, tell people that we're on. If you're watching on Facebook and YouTube, let people know that we're on. We are talking about the forgotten holiday. Father's Day is the forgotten holiday. Before we get started, hey Leroy, why don't you say what's up to the folks, man? Throw them up, peace sign, tell them hello. I know you pissed off about Father's Day, so so
And here's the thing about it. I'm not even a father. You know what I'm saying? Now I got a father,
yeah,
and my
yeah, yeah,
father's not here,
yeah.
but it's just it's like this. It's truly disrespectful if you ask me.
Yo, did you hear the emphasis on spec? You said,
Exactly. It is truly, it has gotten to the disrespectful level for
yeah,
Father's Day, and even happy pre Father's Day to you, my brother, as well. You know
appreciate
what
you.
I'm saying?
Yeah, appreciate
So yeah, we had this conversation the other day, and we were like, yeah, we need to take
you.
this to the people.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
sure, man. So listen, I did post yesterday. I've been posting a couple of things, and I've
Okay.
done it intentionally, Leroy.
Hmm.
One is I posted this comedian,
Yes.
right, who was talking about the fact that on the list of most celebrated holidays,
Yep.
that Father's Day is number 20.
Check that out.
Day is number 20 on the list of the most celebrated holidays. Number 2, second only to Christmas, is Mother's Day. So what we have is we have Christmas, Jesus, and then right under Jesus is our mothers. And then way down on the list at number 20, past Halloween, past Thanksgiving, past several holidays that we know nothing about, is Father's Day. And admittedly, I am, hey, Portia McCoy, good to see you, sis. Thank you for joining. Listen, I am pissed off for several reasons, right? And I'll get into that, right? Second post that I posted, Leroy, was I posted a Rolex, and I said, this is what I said to every wife, son, and daughter. This is what he wants for Father's Day.
Yep.
He does not want socks.
Right.
He does not want another tie. He doesn't want a gift certificate to, he doesn't want those things. He wants value to be placed in his gift in the same way that for decades we have placed value as it relates to the gifts of moms. So before we get into the reason why I did both of those things, Leroy, why don't you talk to me, man, about how you genuinely feel, even as a brother who is not necessarily have children, biological children. Talk to me, man, about how it makes you feel when dads are just dismissed.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And I like the word you use, dismissed. And you hear, I mean, and I think you and I have had this conversation, even the men that we are around, they talk about, and we've even talked about, where we feel as if our voice is not being heard.
Yes.
That's being dismissive of us as men. And we get it. There are dudes out here not doing what they supposed to be doing. That's them. That ain't who we talking about. We ain't talking about them. We talking about those dudes, those men, not males,
Yeah.
who are in their children's lives,
Yeah.
whether they live in the house or they live outside of the house.
Yeah.
But they are an integral part of their children's lives. And even those men that are mentors, even those men that may be stepfathers that have stepped up.
Yeah.
The men that are men and being what Riemann calls the intersectionality of leadership, of life, leadership, and legacy.
Absolutely.
That's manhood. Those are the fathers we talking about. Those are the men we talking about today that people dismiss.
Yeah.
That Donald and I talked about. We have yet to see. Here we are, Friday, the Friday before Father's Day, and we ain't seen not near commercial.
No commercial, no smoke signal,
nothing.
Nothing for brothers, right? And here is something I want to push on us to have this conversation today, Leroy.
Yeah.
One brother put it this way. I forget who that brother is. I'll probably just kind of look in a minute. But he says something to the degree that it's amazing how we will like we as a society, we will even celebrate a mediocre mom.
Come on. Yep.
So a mom don't have to be handling her business. She really
right.
doesn't. And she gets credit simply because she's a mom.
Mm-hmm.
right? Brothers, the brothers that you have described, and listen to me. Let me stand for the brothers who ain't getting it all right. They not getting it all right. They ain't doing everything right, but they trying to figure it out. I want to stand for that brother. I want to stand
Mm.
shoulder to shoulder for that brother and say, hey man, we haven't forgotten about you.
Right.
There is a story behind brothers who aren't showing up for their kids. It's not
Correct.
just that fact that he's a deadbeat dude. He don't want nothing to do with his kids. There's a story behind that. And oftentimes, man, we dismiss even that dude without being willing to sit and hear his story.
The backstory. Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
And so I want to stand, you and I are gonna stand. We only 5'7" and five. What are you, Leroy? Five what?
5'3", brother.
Yeah. Leroy 5'3". I'm 5'7". We are giants among men. Don't miss it. We're giants among men.
Say
But
it again for him. Say
yeah,
it
yeah,
again for
yeah.
him.
We giants among men. Don't play me. We giants among men. And I stand with that brother who is crying at night. Leroy, we did a versus meeting, the Division of Child Support versus Black Fathers. We did
Mm.
that last year, right? And when we did that, man, and I want to say this intentionally for the people that don't always think about this. Um, when we did that versus event, there were brothers who had their licenses restored.
Mm-hmm.
Over 1,000 men, 1,000 dads had their licenses restored because their licenses had been revoked for non-payment. And even when they paid, they still had their licenses revoked.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So we got a system that ain't functioning well. Then we allow the images of Black men to be defined by media, by
Right.
mothers who are not necessarily liking him anymore. You liked him when he was giving it to you.
Woo!
Now you don't like him because y'all done fell out. He done got a new sister. You got a new dude. And could it be? I'm not saying that this is this is not the case all the time, Leroy. But I've talked with enough brothers. I've held enough brothers in my arms. I've watched grown ass men, bruh, who are 6'3", collapse in my shoulders, crying because they genuinely want to see their kids.
Yeah.
And the only one that is the gatekeeper to whether or not they can see their children is a mom who is disgruntled. Now, I'm not coming for moms. I had a great mom. There's some great moms out there. Here's what I'm saying, though. The same way that we take up for the fact that we got great moms, we calling on moms to stand up and say, you know what? Not my child's father. My child's father handling his business, so that we can change the narrative.
Yes, sir.
Right? Of how we are genuinely characterizing how brothers are getting down. Talk to me a bit about that, man.
Well, before I forget, because when you get up in this age category, you guys say stuff before you forget it. You gotta say stuff before you forget it.
For
But
sure.
I know we're going to be getting into doing the report card
Yeah,
on politicians.
yeah,
But I want to take that, and as you were talking, I was, and you mentioned the Department of Social Services. I
yeah,
think we should take that even a step further, where we do the report card on those government agencies as well that deal with fathers,
yeah,
and we have that aspect of it too, where hey, we want to run the gamut. Anybody that we're dealing with, we got a report card on you. And we need to know certain things that you're doing, what you're supposed to be doing to acknowledge those men that are being men and being fathers to their children, or like you were saying in that instance, that want to be fathers
yeah,
to their children, and we don't wind up having. And I think you and I mentioned it the other day, that article with the woman who was giving custody of her child, and
right.
she wound up killing that
Right.
60-year-old child.
Right.
That should have never happened. Why
Right.
wasn't that child put with that father?
Right.
Why wasn't he given the right to have that child? Now you have a father
Wait,
who is
calm down, Leroy. You there already. Leroy on 10. Leroy is the one that said, hey, Donald, we need to hop on the live. Usually I'm the one that'll hit him and say, hey man, you want to hit a live? He's like, we need to hop on the live. Go ahead, man. Yeah.
no, but that before I forgot about that. But the thing is, like you were saying, when it comes to acknowledging those brothers who are trying, you know what I'm saying, who are saying, you know what, I understand I don't have it all together, but I am putting the pieces to this puzzle that I got, this 1,000-piece puzzle that's
Okay.
out in front of me,
Yeah.
and I need help to be able to put it together.
Yeah.
And part of that includes being, how do I, and some, and you can speak to this more than I can, you have brothers who say, I don't know how.
Yes, bro.
I'm trying to, and I
Yes.
want to put it together. I want
Yes.
to be the father that I'm supposed to
Yes.
be.
Yes.
I want to be the daddy that I'm called to be,
Yes.
but I don't have the tools.
Yes.
I don't have the knowledge. My father wasn't there, so I'm doing this by myself. I'm doing this just off of off of no knowledge. How do I do that?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? That's what we're talking. We're talking about those brothers that have the desire, that want to be there for their children, that are there for their children. I could name off a whole list of men that have been in my life, that are great fathers.
Yes, sir, man.
And have been father figures for me. You know what I'm saying?
Let's do that, Leroy. I think you bring up a great point, man. Let's
Mm-hmm.
do that. We oftentimes, man, when someone dies in Baltimore, right? Somebody's killed by police. Somebody dies in Delaware, they're killed by police. Someone dies here in Atlanta, they're killed by police.
But
we have this habit of saying, say their name.
mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
We won't let anyone die without paying homage to their names.
Right.
I want to, while they're alive, Leroy, I want to say the names of fathers who are handling their business. My wife said to me the other day, she said, look, boy, you scream a lot. I need you to calm down. So I'm trying to teach myself to calm down, right? So here's the deal, man. I want to say the name of Dr. Michael Aaron Freeman. Who is a phenomenal father.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The name of Joshua Freeman, who is a phenomenal father. I want to say the name of Jeff Johnson, phenomenal father. I want to say the name of Jamal Harrison Bryant, who is a phenomenal father. I want to say the name of Ronald Handy, who is a phenomenal father. I want to say the name of Darius Harris, who is a phenomenal. You understand? I'm tired of this narrative that somehow every black father ain't shit. I'm putting that to rest today because we know that brothers are handling their business, and the brothers that ain't doing it real well are still trying. Leroy, put some respect on some names that you know, man.
Yeah, bro. I'm my first goes to my spiritual father, Bishop Walter Scott Thomas Sr.
Yeah.
Phenomenal dad. And just to go right down, stay in his family, Walter Jr., Joshua Thomas, the whole men in that family, bro.
Yes,
just
sir.
with some respect on their names.
Yes.
John Anderson, who was the head of our honor guard. Phenomenal man.
Yeah.
My cousin Tony Hardy, him and his wife, and a phenomenal dad. This dude, from time I was a little boy, all I remember was him and my cousin, both my cousins, him and Debbie, Tony and Debbie, being together, getting married when I was little. Married now for 32 years. Oh no, I'm sorry, 40 plus years.
Yeah,
Married 40 plus years. Their son, who is now a dad too, Tony Jr. Tony
yeah,
Jr. He's a dad now too. Mr. Anderson Ward. These are men that I'm personally know that have been a part of my life, and I appreciate them for what they mean to me in being in my life and showing me, because all of them except for Walter Jr. and Joshua are older than me,
yeah, yeah,
are men that I knew as a young man growing up. They were the ones that I looked to. So John, just knowing him at the church, but I've known him for a number of years as well too. But these are men, like you said, that are just great fathers, great men, and they are the standard that we need to be talking about. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah,
You know.
and so let's put a pin there too, Leroy,
Hmm.
because we have this habit, man. I think you will agree, of highlighting the stellar dad, right?
Hmm.
That stellar dad who's checking all the boxes. But
Hmm.
I want to intentionally, and as you guys see scrolling at the bottom of the screen, you see remancommunity.com. If there's a black man in your life, Remand is the mecca for black male empowerment. We got some plans that we putting together, some things that you're gonna hear from Dr. McKenzie. That's my guy. We just get along. Our friendship about to be tested though. We got some things coming up. our, friendship, our friendship is about to be tested. Uh, but just a dope dude. I'm privileged to work with every single day. Just a dope guy. I if you have a husband, if you got a father, if you got a son, tell him to go to remandcommunity.com and become a part of the community of support from brothers. Because we ain't got a lot of support out here. Right. So we want to support your husbands, we want to support your fathers, we want to support your uncles, your brothers, right. We want to support all of them. And one of the things that I want to do intentionally, I want to put some respect on my son's name, Keshad. Keshad Britt is a phenomenal dad. He a girl dad. His daughter, my granddaughter Carsey, got him wrapped around her finger, right? And his wife is pregnant again, right? And so I mean, and he a young cat. He in his 30s, young cat, right? And so I wanna make sure that historically, Leroy, let me calm down, like my wife said. So historically, Leroy, remember Rosa Parks wasn't the first one
Yep.
not to give up her seat.
Correct. Correct.
There was another sister that didn't give up her seat, and they didn't want to use her
Yep.
as the person, the face of the movement, because she had some stuff with her that they didn't like to put out as an image.
Correct.
I want to dismantle that. I want to dismantle that. Brothers, you could have, if you've been to jail and you coming home and you trying to get it right with your kids, I celebrate you, my guy. If you a high school dropout, you ain't got the educational pedigree that others have, I celebrate you, my guy. If you're a guy and you're trying to figure it out, you've had so much time go by and you just really want to figure out a way to reconnect with your kids and you don't know how, you embarrassed, you ashamed, you got all that going on. We celebrate you, my guy. We're here for you. It's not just, I don't want to develop a movement of brothers who check all the boxes. If you check 2 or 3 of the boxes, man, we celebrate you until you can check all of the boxes. You understand what I'm saying, Leroy? I don't want to leave out brothers who, to your point a moment ago, who are genuinely trying.
Right.
Talk about that.
Yeah, and that's the thing, because we have to understand. I mean, you and I say this all the time. None of us have it all together. None of us have it all together. So for those fathers who say, you know what, yeah, and I say it like this because I wrote a poem called "That Was Then, This Is Now,"
Okay, you
and
want to spit that poem for us, Leroy?
I can't spit it because I don't know about heart. I ain't got it with me. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I ain't that kind of poet where I can just spit it. I ain't even gonna lie. I need the paper in front of me because I ain't studying it. I'm sorry. but the gist of the poem is about that brother who folks, they talk, people want to talk about your past, what
Yeah,
you used to do,
yeah,
what you used to be. Oh yeah, I remember when you used to do this and you used
yeah,
to do that. The
yeah,
fellas know,
yeah,
like you talked about, that brother that gets out and he goes back on the block and he changes his life.
yeah,
And his homeboys be like, oh bro, you changed. Absolutely, I've changed. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm
yes,
trying to change. Yeah,
yeah,
and they want to bring up all of these things that you used to do, you used to be, where you used to hang. Yeah, that was then.
yeah,
This is now.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
That used to be me,
yeah,
but this is who I am now. This is
yeah,
who I'm becoming. This is
yeah,
who I've become. And that's what we're all a work in progress.
yeah,
And I remember telling my dad, I said, as long as we on this side, we're never gonna be perfect.
man, that's
This
so
flesh, this
that's so
flesh we in is imperfect. So we're constantly working at it. So, like you said, for those brothers that are trying to do right, that are like, you know what, my life ain't together, but I'm getting my life together. I'm putting the pieces together. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep
yeah,
stepping up. Keep
yeah,
putting one foot in front of the other.
yeah,
Even if your child's mother is acting all crazy, wants to drive you crazy by not letting you see your kids or not allowing you to be the father that you want to be, keep going.
talk good, man.
Keep going. Keep pushing to see your child. Keep pushing to be a part of your child's life.
Yeah,
Period.
yeah, yeah, for sure. And let me just kind of tell a story, man.
Uh
You can be real clear. My oldest son, I was 19,
huh.
right? When my oldest son's mother's name is Kim. I can't stand the whole baby mama
Yeah.
thing, baby daddy thing. Yeah, I've got children, right? And I'm a father.
Right.
Well, my son's mother, her name is Kim Giles, right? Um, and Leroy, I ain't had the tools. I
Yeah.
didn't, and I didn't have the tools. I didn't have the paper. I did what my mother told me not to do, and
Mm-hmm.
that is have a child or create a child, sire a child before I was ready.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember making promises to my son that I didn't keep. I
Mm-hmm.
remember saying to him, "Hey, Daddy gonna pick you up on Friday,"
Mm.
not pick him up on Friday.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
remember times where, I went into the military and then came home and he didn't really know me. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I know the pain of being a dad that doesn't have it all together. I've been before the judge in child support court. I know what
Mm-hmm.
that is. I know what it is for them to tell me, because I went in there. Hey, Leroy, don't laugh at me, man. I'm sensitive. Let me tell you what I did, boy. I went in there one day. I was so fed up. I went in there one day, child support court, family court, and I said, "Listen, before you get started, I ain't paying another dime. Lock me up." And the judge said, "So ordered."
we can
We
accommodate
can
you with that.
accommodate you. Leroy, I said, no, 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 no. Listen, whatever I got to do. And they did. They locked me up. Fortunately, they had this thing called a purge amount, like an amount of money that I could pay so I didn't have
Okay.
to go to jail.
Okay. Okay.
So I've got a very compassionate and merciful lens through which, an empathetic lens through which I approach this issue. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
the guy that's gonna preach high on a mountain and not let you know my shit was jacked. It was jacked. And so I celebrate Kim because Kim kept working with me. She didn't give up. She just kept saying, my nickname's Buddy, right? She used to say, Buddy, you don't have to deal with the tears of your son. I got to deal with
Mm-hmm.
the tears of your son.
Yeah.
The shame of going away into the military, coming home and having to try to reconnect. He don't really know me like that. I know the shame of being away for a long period of time. I know that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Marla said, Happy Father's Day, future babies, daddies. Didn't I just tell that chick that we don't she always got she always got to do something different, man. Right? So I know what that is. I know what it is not to be the best father, man.
Yeah.
And so I want to shout out Kim, and I want to shout out Wayna, right? Because I have children with them, and both of them were really solid at saying, hey, you can do better. You got it. They were really honest with me. There were some times that I had to take it on the chin. I didn't like it, but they were telling me the truth.
Truth. Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying is, if I didn't have my spiritual father, if I didn't have other brothers that could help me kind of navigate the difficulties of being a dad, man, listen, I just ain't always been that cat.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to bury the brothers who are still trying, they ain't got it right, and everybody's clowning them. You got a media that's coming for them, children's mothers that's coming for them. Listen, I want to be that dude that provides a space for that brother to get it right, and to be around other brothers that can help him get it right. Because truthfully, and this is for moms, and I want you to talk to this a bit. Usually I don't talk to moms because I can't tell a mom how to do her thing. I really can't. I can't feel what she's going through when there's an absent dad. I don't know that, right? But I will tell you that when we play the game of keeping children away from their fathers, it hurts the child. You think that you're damaging him, you're punishing him. I'm telling you that you are unintentionally punishing your child.
Yep.
Because, and I want you to talk about this, Leroy, I'm gonna shut up. Because even the worst of fathers, even the worst of dads, and I'm talking about proximity, I'm talking about time spent, I'm talking about child support, I'm talking about all of that. Haven't you noticed that a child is still connected to his or her dad, even when his or her dad ain't doing everything that they need to do? There's still a biological dad-sized hole in the soul of a child that cannot be filled by a mentor, a pastor. I celebrate mentors, I celebrate pastors, I celebrate uncles, grandfathers, right? That step in. But there's this lingering question, Leroy, that continues to be asked. Where my daddy though? Where's my father? Like, what's wrong with me that he don't want nothing to do with me? And until we start answering that question, we're going to continue to have these challenges that we're having. Talk to that issue a bit, Leroy.
Yeah, well, two things. One, and this is art imitating life, and I'll talk about this one first, and then I'll give you a personal story. And I'm sure you remember the episode of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah,
when his dad,
yes, sir,
pops in town.
Yes, sir.
And he's all excited. Will is all excited about his dad being there. They're going, to going and doing a couple things together, and he's thinking that he's finally going to get that relationship
Yup.
that he desires
Yup.
and wants with his dad.
Yup.
And his dad dips out saying, "Hey, I gotta get on the road. I gotta go." And he rolls out,
Yup.
bounces out. And I swear it was one of the best episodes of of Fresh Prince, and it showed just the power of Will Smith's acting.
Yup.
And that scene where he's talking to Uncle Phil, and he was like, "I don't need him. I'm gonna be a better father than him. I'm gonna be." And then at the end,
He breaks.
he breaks and says, "How come he don't want me, man?
Absolutely.
Just
Absolutely.
how come he don't want me?" And at the end of the day, that's that part that you just talked about.
Yes, sir.
As fathers and even as mothers, but we're dealing with fathers today. There's a part of us that no matter, there's nothing that anybody else can do to fill that part of us, of who we are. It's our DNA. It's those 46 chromosomes that we got
Ooh,
from
man.
mom and dad together that we need to have. And whether it's God, well, I believe it is God creating that DNA, that innate who we are spiritually. We need to have that. We gotta have it. We've got to know who we are,
Yeah.
where we come from, and if we don't get it, there will be an emptiness in our lives
Yeah.
that we just go because we don't know who we are. Why we why we do certain things we do.
Yes, sir.
Because there's certain things that your daddy did that you might not know about that you wind up doing. You be like, "Oh, all right, I know how I do that, or I know why I don't do that."
Yup.
All of that comes from knowing who we are and knowing our fathers in our lives. You know, and that can't come from anybody else but our fathers. It's that's just the way that God intended it.
That's so
You know what
true.
I'm saying?
That's
That's
so
just the way He intended it. That the two people that come together to make a child, that child is a part of them, is a result of them.
yeah. Yeah.
So why wouldn't they want to know about them?
Yeah.
And it's imperative as fathers that you pour into your children so that they do know who they are.
Yeah.
That's part of the stepping up. That's part of the figuring it out so that they do know who they are. It's your responsibility as a father to let your children know who they are.
For sure.
Like we said, the good, bad, and the ugly.
For sure.
All of it.
For sure. For sure. For sure.
All of it, man.
For
All
sure.
of it.
And
But
I think one of the things that I really want to get across, I'm watching my family on LinkedIn. Thank you
mm,
for watching. YouTube's watching, Facebook's watching. Thank y'all for watching, right?
yes, absolutely.
Um, I if you think somehow, and this is me talking to the overall community, right? If you think somehow that continuing to dog dads is something that's going to work out in the end, you are seeing every single year the effects of media, um, vitriolic parenting by, you know, non-custodial parents, which, or by custodial parents. We're we're
Hmm.
seeing we're seeing the challenges with this over and over again. And I think I don't want to come on here and complain. You and I are coming on here to try to turn the corner
Yep.
and to say to a society, if you want something different, you're going to have to do something different.
Yep.
How you are addressing the fatherhood crisis, which, by the way, is a result of the masculinity crisis.
Say that again.
Yeah,
Whew.
fatherhood crisis is not a fatherhood crisis, it's a masculinity crisis. It's a manhood crisis that we're in. So fatherhood is the next step. So you can't be a good father, you can't be a good husband until you are first a good man. right? So we have a tendency to jump to fatherhood and to being husbands without really addressing the manhood question. So a part of what our nonprofit is doing right now is spreading awareness to the plight of Black men, the plight of Black fathers who, if they don't pay their child support, get locked up. What? Like you have to help me understand that, Leroy. You got to help me understand how the best use of resources is to lock a brother up because he can't pay his child support. So what we are doing, and I can tell you all this right now, what we are doing is developing a pool of resources inside our nonprofit so that brothers next year will be able to apply for funding so that they don't go to jail, because it doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't make sense to me how a dude who hey Leroy, he could have fallen on hard times. He could have been in jail and then his child support continued to accrue. And then when you come out and you can't pay it, you go right back. There are a whole lot of stories that we're finding out about that's just not dudes not wanting to pay.
Yeah.
That's the narrative that's out here, but that's just not the truth. If you guys are watching and you'd like to put a comment in, or you'd like to us to answer a question, we're willing to do that. But we're going to start stacking paper so that brothers now, bruh, don't come to us if you just on some corny shit. You want some corny stuff, and
You're some corny what? You're some corny what?
don't come to us and you want some corny shit and you just don't want to take care of your kids. Like, I don't have no respect for that. I don't have no respect for that. But I've got respect for a dude who says, hey, Donald, I need to apply for some because I lost my job. I'm trying to find work. Or, hey, Donald, I don't make enough. I don't make enough. Depending on what city and state you're in, they can take up to like 75% of your money.
Yep.
How in the heck are you supposed to make it?
Yeah.
Right? So I want Leroy, I want the Remand Project to be able to help that brother.
Yeah.
Right? I want the Remand Project for Father's Day. Shout out to my boy Jamal Bryant. He did this. We attempted to do it in Delaware. We will do it here in Atlanta on next year. Next year for Father's Day, we're going to pay the bails
Yep.
of a bunch of brothers that are in jail on misdemeanor kind of stuff.
Right.
A joint. And a lot of guys are in there because they can't afford the bail.
Correct.
So we're going to pay that. We're going to pick a bunch of brothers. We're going to pay that so that they can come home for Father's Day and be there with their kids. They're going to have to apply. Their families have to apply. We got to know some things. But we're not going to simply throw brothers away because their lives are not necessarily where they want them to be. So Remand is an organization. It's a for-profit and a nonprofit, but Remand helps Black men interrupt patterns. So he wants to be a better father, but he's caught in a cycle. We want to help Black men break the vicious cycles of missed potential so that he can transform his life, leadership, and legacy. We want to help institutions that are involved with the cycle too, so that that man can transform his life, leadership, and legacy. So I want to celebrate dads. I want to thank fathers. You guys are dope. You don't have it all together. You ain't perfect. I'm not either. No one is. But man, if you trying, and I'm not talking about, you got the excuse that you're trying. I'm talking about you for real, putting in the work, you putting in the effort, working to better yourself, working to create relationship with your children, working to show up even, you miss it sometimes, but you working. Yeah, you got respect from me. For every mom that's making it a little easier for your son or your daughter's mom, your child's father to be there. You're not serving as an impediment. You're and I'm sure that it can be painful. I'm sure that he has hurt you. I'm sure that there are a number of things that have happened. But listen to me. What's in the best interest of your child is making sure your child's father is present. Man, I love y'all. I love y'all. Brothers, I respect y'all. You get respect from me. But you also got to be willing to earn it, bro. You got to be willing to earn that respect. I want to celebrate every person that's watched us. I wanted to talk about Father's Day, the forgotten holiday. Listen, I made a joke of it, but don't do this. Don't buy that man no socks. It's so disrespectful. I'm telling you what he won't tell you. It's so disrespectful to minimize his contribution. If your child's father is in your child's life, celebrate that dude. Right? If your child's father is in your child's life, celebrate that dude. Don't get him no socks. Don't get him a tie. Don't disrespect him like that. I'm telling you what he won't tell you. He's proud. So he's like, whatever they do for me is fine. Yeah. He won't tell you that he hurts. He hurts when you minimize his contribution. He hurts, and that hurt comes out in anger. He hurts when you get him a gift card to Starbucks,
Home Depot,
some $5 gift card. No, he hurts, and he won't tell you. So I'm gonna tell you, he hurts because when he sees that for Mother's Day, there's a line wrapped around the building to take her to dinner. When he sees that you're gonna buy mom flowers and jewelry and clothes and take her out to dinner, and you're gonna do all these multiple things just by virtue of the fact that she's a mom.
I want you to speak to something, bro.
Yes, sir.
And as you were talking about that, it got me to thinking, because you know how people talk about we as men, as they always say, we're groomed to be the protectors, the providers, right? I know it's more than that. You know it's more than that, but that's the frame and the narrative that they put it in. Could it be that the reason that fathers aren't as acknowledged, appreciated, and shown the appreciation that mothers are is because society has deemed it that he's just the dad. He's all right. He doesn't need, it's seen as being soft if you show that he's appreciated. It's seen as being vulnerable if he shows that he wants that appreciation or that acknowledgement. Can you talk a little bit about, do you think that plays a part in why society doesn't do that?
I think that,
or why society does that?
I think it plays a big part, Dr. McKenzie, man, and primarily because, brothers are taught and trained that we shouldn't be celebrated. It's our reasonable service.
Yeah.
Right? It's our reasonable service to, and there's some of it that I agree with. When the dad say, I got to babysit my kids, bro, you're not babysitting your kids.
Right. What is that?
They're your kids, man. But we train we celebrate moms and we treat dads like this is what you're supposed to do. This is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to take care of your kids. You're supposed to take your kids to school. No. And until we learn to celebrate the little things that he does. I'm Gary, give you all a cheat code. I'm going to put you on game. If you want a brother to do more of something, celebrate the time that he does it.
Tell him again
Brother,
and again.
do more of something, celebrate the time that he does it. If you dismiss the time that he does it and you make it insignificant, he has no motivation to do it again.
And I don't know if you've seen this sister or if you've heard of her. She's on YouTube, and I just recently came across her. But her name is, I want to say, April Mason. I think it is.
Yeah, April.
Oh, okay. This and I've just recently watched a couple of podcasts and shows that she's been on and have heard her speak. And that thing that you just talked about is what she invariably talks about for women to do.
Yeah.
Just showing the appreciation of of that man being who he is.
Absolutely.
It you want to see, ladies, like Donald said, you want to see a cheat code. You want to see a brother stick his chest all the way out.
Yes, yeah, man. Yes, yeah. Because quite frankly, that's what motivates moms. What motivates moms is not just, oh, okay, let us do this. Make me president for a day. And let me make me president on the second Sunday in May. And give me permission to ban that holiday. Just for watch moms go crazy.
They would go absolutely crazy.
Right. And they would get an opportunity to see how we feel when we're doing the best we can. And even if, sisters, check this out, celebrating Father's Day doesn't always mean you celebrating your father. Right? Celebrating Mother's Day, I said, like, my mom is going to be with the Lord. Yeah, she's with Jesus now, right? She's with her God. And I still believe she's fully present and engaged with me. I believe that with my whole heart, right? But when I say Happy Mother's Day, I ain't just saying Happy Mother's Day to my mom. I'm saying Happy Mother's Day to all the moms, right? So when I say Happy Father's Day, I'm not just talking about my pops. I'm not just talking about senior. That's my pops, right? I'm a junior. I'm a junior like you're a junior, Leroy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We carry the name, bro.
Yeah, man, we carry the name. I got a responsibility to make that name great. I owe him that, right? Yep. But I ain't just talking about my dad. I'm talking about all the dads, the Ted Blunts of the world, right? I'm talking about the dads who. And I'm not going to let a few brothers who ain't handling their business keep me from celebrating the brothers that are. Yeah. So what we're saying, ladies, is celebrate brothers for Father's Day. Even if your dude ain't necessarily functioning in the way he should, even if your pops didn't necessarily do what he should, my pops didn't always do what he should have, Leroy.
Yes, sir.
He did me the best he could, man, with what he knew. I honor him. I honor that dude. That dude, he wasn't fully present emotionally. Then he dies early. He dies before he's 40 years old. Right? He died of chronic alcoholism, but that's my pop.
Yeah.
And I honor him because he gave me the best he could at the time he could. He gave me the best he could, Leroy. So what I'm saying is I celebrate my pop, Edward Donald Morton Sr., right? I celebrate Leroy McKenzie Sr. I celebrate every dad that is doing the doggone thing, and I'm not going to let a few knucklehead cats keep me from celebrating a whole world of dads who handling their business.
Yeah. It's a huge responsibility
Yeah,
being a father. You got some dudes out here, and we've heard them in the news, just wilding out when it comes to just thinking that this fatherhood thing is a joke, or is something that is taken lightly.
yeah,
And it is something that is not to be it is one of the, if not the most serious thing that you will do in your life.
yeah, for sure, for sure. That's the other thing, and I want you to continue on that vein, Leroy,
Hmm. Hmm.
because that's the other thing. The other thing is we've stripped, our society has stripped fathers of even thinking that they're important, that their
Right.
contribution is important. So
Right.
when you tell me over and over again, I can do this by myself,
Now, sir.
right? And a sister said, I
And,
can do this by myself. I don't need no man. And then we
and
back up. Now we clowns. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Talk, man.
no, here's the sad thing about that statement, bruh. And when I hear it, here's where I go. And I'm going to the word. Here you are trying to tell society that you can do this by yourself when God Himself said
Yeah,
it is not good for man to be alone.
yeah,
So do you deem yourself greater than God, who saw that it was not fit
yeah,
for us to be alone in what it is that that ain't even a call, that's a command. That was a command of His.
yeah,
He knew that. And I heard TD Jakes, and he triggered my thinking on this. He said everything that God created had the ability to reproduce. Everything: trees, animals, grass, everything. Man was the only thing that could not reproduce by himself. He
mm,
had to create
yeah,
the other part that would give him the ability to do what he was commanding him to do,
yeah,
which was to reproduce. And that's why when you hear me, when I always say, people talk about the protect and provide, but they don't talk about the produce part. They don't put
yeah,
that third P on there.
yeah.
That's the command that He gives us, producing every aspect of our lives, spiritually, emotionally, psychologically. We're to produce
Yes,
in
sir.
we're to make more
Yes, sir.
in our life. We're supposed to make our lives better in that producing.
Yeah,
So when I hear women say, when I hear them say, "Well, I don't need a man," and no, sis, you're wrong.
yeah, yeah.
You,
Absolutely.
you're wrong. That's not the way that it's intended. And
And
even
we need to
you
tell
won't hear
brothers.
men say it. Yeah, you won't
We
hear
need to
men say
tell,
that too much.
we
But
need to tell brothers that. We need to
yeah,
tell brothers you're necessary, man.
yeah,
Necessary. And I
yeah.
don't care what anybody tells you. You're necessary. It's the reason why the scripture says it this way. It's like the earth is agitated. It's
Mhm.
agitated, right? Whenever it is the earth is groaning, attempting to produce
Mhm.
that which
Mhm.
it needs.
Yep.
So when a sister is angry, when society is angry, it's because it is unwilling to acknowledge what it knows.
Yep.
And what it
Mm.
knows is, to your point, no sister can do it by herself.
Yep.
No sister can do it by herself. No family is complete. And I'm talking to every sister who is an air quote single mom. Your family's not complete. There's something missing.
Yep.
And even if you don't see it right now, it's going to show up later. His absence is going to show up.
Yep. And even, and I hate to bring him up, but because we're gonna tell the good and we're gonna tell the bad. We're here to celebrate fathers, but we're also here to hold, as we do, men accountable.
Yes.
When you don't take seriously the title of fatherhood,
Yes.
you have this misperception that um, it's enough just to put some money to somebody and think that that's going to be enough. That's not what fatherhood is.
Yeah, for sure.
That's not, just saying, well, I'm gonna give them a couple dollars you know, or I couldn't be there, but like in the movie Ray, he says, I'll buy the team some uniforms. That's not it, bro. That's not it. And truth be told, most children want your time more than anything else.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, yeah.
You
Talk
know,
about that.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, and we can, and that's why you know, when I talk about manhood and we talk about understanding the family dynamic of it, and you know, with us being entrepreneurs, we understand we're always trying to do the next thing, make the next project, make you know, do what we do because the bottom line, that's what we're in business for, is to make money. But I
Yes,
also tell those entrepreneurs, those men entrepreneurs too, there are gonna be some things you have to say no to just because
absolutely.
your family is more of a priority, or
Absolutely.
should be more of a priority than getting that dollar.
Absolutely.
And you can on it, you can say, you know what, I can't do that. My son's or daughter's game or that PTA meeting, whatever it is that you need to do to be with your child, is more important
Yeah.
than getting that contract.
Yeah.
You know, you can work it
And I
out to
can hear you.
get
I can
the
hear you,
contract.
brother, saying if I don't get the contract, I can't take care of my kids. I hear you.
Right,
There, and we don't pretend that this is not a delicate dance, because it is.
right.
It's a really,
Yep,
really delicate dance. But a part of what we teach inside Remain, particularly to our entrepreneurs and all of our brothers inside Remain that are part of our mastermind, are entrepreneurs, right? And we talk to them about the importance of setting up systems,
yep.
right? So that it frees your time, so that you
Hmm.
can spend time with your wife, you can spend time with your kids, you can. So to Leroy's point, it's not enough, man, for you to you know, it's not enough for you to just throw money at it. You can't just
Yep.
throw money at it. Your presence is necessary. And at the
Because
same time, the other side of that coin is for those employers that are out there, when dad has a child, don't clown him because he goes out on FMLA. No, don't
mm,
clown him. Celebrate him for going out on the Family Medical Leave Act because
yeah,
he's got a child, right? Let
you
him
should
off.
you should applaud that
You should
because he
applaud
wants
that.
to be with his
You
child.
should applaud that. You should applaud the fact that he's got a PTA meeting. You should applaud the fact that his child's teacher wants to meet with him so that he can go and straighten shit out.
Right.
Right. So when he wants to engage, you want to stop some of the criminal behavior. You want to stop some of the things that we're seeing. Engage dad. And it's not that I don't celebrate moms. I do, but there's a unique skill set that we have given to us by the designer himself, that when we step in a room, different kind of things happen.
Yeah, it's a different environment. It's a
Yeah,
different energy. It's a
yeah,
different energy
yeah,
that's given. And even, and I think you've said this before too, it's just even in our voices,
yeah,
there's a different feeling that comes from a different vibration that
yeah,
comes from that.
yeah, yeah,
When
absolutely.
he's saying it, and we've got to understand that. We've got
Yeah,
to understand that, and take that seriously, that it should not be the not the norm for the father to be a part of an integral part of a child's education. You
that
should
is right.
want to be.
That is right.
That
That is
teacher
right.
should know the mother and the father's
That
name
is right.
and should know both of their faces.
That
Oh, I
is
know.
right.
But and I tell you no lie, my dad was a phys ed teacher,
Okay.
sports coach in high school, and I went my freshman year. He was I went to the high school I went to because he was there.
Okay.
So there was no acting up for,
Yeah.
for
Right, right,
junior,
right,
because everybody knew
right,
who Leroy McKenzie Jr.'s father
right,
was.
right.
And if I acted up, All they had to do was, hey, I ain't gonna send you to the principal's office.
Right. I'm gonna send you. I'm gonna
I'm gonna
send you
send
to
you
your
down
mom.
there to the
Right.
gym
Right.
where I know your father is, and
Right.
he gonna handle it.
Right. Right. Yeah, man. I want every brother to hear and every sister recognize. And then I want to give some instructions. I really do. I want to give some instructions. I don't want to just, again, I don't want to just complain. I'm trying to put you on game, sisters. I want to give you some instruction. Um, that dude in your life is necessary. And he's so necessary that he might be the deciding factor with your son going to jail, your son dying. He necessary. Now, Leroy will tell you that's not me trying to scare you. That's the data.
Mm,
That's the data. The guys that are in jail, 70, upwards of 70% of the brothers that
mm.
are in jail have no relationship with their pop,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Young people that are committing suicide is a pop issue. Dropping
Mm.
out of school is a pop issue. Teenage pregnancy is a pop issue. We're
Come
talking
on.
about the crisis of fatherhood. And because you so pissed off with him, you don't even like him right now, you ain't got to. But you can't do away with his necessity. He's necessary.
Mm.
Even if you don't like him, he's necessary. So that's number one. Here's what I want to ask every person to do. I'm gonna ask you to do it as a favor to me. If you we've been clowning a lot about, don't get him socks, don't get him a tie, uh, and it's a serious humor because when I posted the Rolex, brothers was like, right. One guy said, I don't need a Rolex, but just buy me the gun that I want. I don't need a Rolex. One guy, my boy G, he said I don't need more money on a Rolex. Another brother said just give me the cash equivalent. And he talked to his wife. His name is Jay. His wife is named Madi, right? He told Madi, give me the money equal to the Rolex out of that secret bank account I know you got. So what I want to challenge every sister to do, it's not enough just to have your child's father bring you flowers on Mother's Day. I want to challenge you, even if you're upset with him right now,
I know where you're going.
I want to challenge you to do something for him, to acknowledge him so that he feels seen. Most guys don't feel seen.
Yep.
There are a lot of fathers who bust their ass every single day to make it happen for their kids. They work in 3, 4 jobs. Some of them are doing it because they have to make up one enough money so that they can live and take care of their kids as well. Man, acknowledge him.
And
Acknowledge
and that's the thing. The Rolex isn't even the point to
the
me.
Rolex, not the point.
What it's and I said this on my live this morning, because I did want to acknowledge Father's Day. And I said, here's the challenge in what you were just saying, sisters. Just think of the those men, those father figures, or if even if it's your father, think of something that they like, that they would really. I know my dad loves XYZ.
Yeah, yeah,
Let me get him XYZ just because I want to say thank you.
yeah,
I just I just say thank you for being who you are in my life. Like I said, if it's cufflinks, get him a
yeah,
pair of cufflinks.
yeah,
If
yeah,
it's a shirt, get him a shirt. If it's
yeah,
a suit,
yeah.
you know that brother like to be suited
Yeah.
down. He like
Some cologne. Get that dude some cologne. Get him, get
pay
him, get him a couple $100 bottle of cologne. Right,
right.
right, like like one of the things I think we got to get better at is researching. My lady is really good at this. She's really good at paying attention to
Mm-hmm.
something that I say I want. And then she'll say, "Hey babe, I got something coming to the house." Right. She 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 shows me that she appreciates
Yeah.
me, right? And I'm going to ask another hard question or another hard. Not only do I want you to bless your dad, the child's father, before you can even do it, do some hard work. Forgive.
Ooh.
Forgive, sis. How long you gonna hold on to it?
Oh boy, you hitting them right between the eyes with that one.
How long you gonna hold on to it? Like how long? How long? Because the truth is, the length of time, we have an exercise inside Remain called the Forgiveness Protocol, right? And we actually look at, Leroy has been through it, we actually force you to pay attention to the amount of time
Mm-hmm.
you have wasted simply because you refuse to forgive. And I'm
And that's
asking you for your child's sake. This ain't even about your child's father. It really isn't. You have an opportunity to interrupt a pattern, to break a cycle, to disrupt a behavior that is going to set the trajectory of your child and his or her future in the proper path. All because you choose to do some hard work. It's hard as hell to do.
that ain't no joke.
It's no joke, right?
That
It's
is
no joke, but it's necessary if you want to see. If you don't want to see, and I'll be done. I'm gonna let Leroy have the last word. Then I got a 3 o'clock discovery call. But let me tell you this, ladies and brothers. If you don't want to see this same thing lived out in your child, break the cycle. Because how you're functioning right now is the most promising indicator of how your children will function when they get your age. It's the way it works. You can call it a generational curse. You can call it seed time and harvest. You can call it whatever you want to call it. But your child will live out your behavior in their lives unless you break it. So I love you, bruh, but you got to make it right with your child's mom. Even if she gets on your nerves, it's about your child. Be willing to hear her mouth for your child's sake. Mom, if you really want him involved, stop pushing him away. Stop acting like you don't want him involved when you know you really do. Stop acting like he's not necessary when you know he really is. Let's stop gaming and do the work that's necessary for this next generation who needs us healed and functioning with one another in a healthy way. So I want you guys to go out and buy him something that is meaningful. Put some thought into it in the same way that you would put some thought into your Mother's Day gift. Put some thought into it and say, you know what? We don't always agree, but I appreciate you. He needs to hear that. Hey, Dr. McKenzie, last words from you, man.
man. You just said something that was just priceless. You want to do something for Father's Day that I promise you, it ain't too many folks out here that's gonna do that. That's gonna do this. That's gonna give the gift of forgiveness. You talked about it, and I don't know if you I'll challenge anyone.
Yeah.
Write a letter
Yes, man.
to that man
Yes.
And I promise you, you won't be the same after.
Absolutely.
You can't be.
Absolutely.
And then you don't necessarily have to share the letter, but share the emotions behind the letter
Sit with
if
it.
you're able to.
Absolutely.
That will surpass any Rolex,
Yes.
any house, anything else
Yes.
that you will give that father
Yes.
for Father's Day. I
Yes.
promise you.
Yes.
Because we are, as Donald has said throughout this podcast, what we've been talking about, it's a fatherhood crisis, which
Absolutely.
stems from a masculinity crisis.
Absolutely.
And we begin this Father's Day weekend
Yeah.
changing the dynamic,
Yeah.
changing the narrative, healing
Yeah.
healing that dynamic so that men, fathers, feel as if they feel as if and they know that their voice is being heard,
Yes.
that they are being seen.
Yes.
That's what to me. Let them know that you see them.
Yes.
Let them know you hear them
Yes.
this weekend. If you don't say anything else, you don't do anything else. I hear you. I see you. I just want to let you know that 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 will certainly change this frame that we've been given for
Yeah.
Father's Day.
Yeah. Yeah.
I truly believe that, man.
Yeah. For sure,
So
man. For
yeah,
sure. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with myself and Dr. McKenzie. Um, and we appreciate you guys listening to us and hearing our plea. Um, it's one thing to hear about it. It's another thing to execute it.
yeah, exactly.
Forgive, forgive. Our communities are almost too far gone. We
Yeah,
got to forgive, do the hard work, and we've got to restore so that our ancestors will be proud of us. And you know, to every brother that's a dad, happy Father's Day, my guy. I'm proud of you for doing the work. You got a friend in Donald Morton. You got a friend in Leroy McKenzie. You got a friend in the Remand Project. You see www.remandcommunity.com. Go over there. You want to be supported by some other dope brothers in the mecca of black male empowerment. Go over to the Remand community, and there you're seen, you're heard, you're experienced. We love and respect y'all. Talk to you guys real soon. Thank y'all for hanging out with us. Peace.
Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.